Hey guys, so I wanted to give you guys a quick little story about something pretty scary, hi baby, that happened with Theo while we were traveling. And now if any of this might happen to your dogs, I know it's really scary, so I just want to tell you in advance that this story does have a happy ending. Everything is okay. As you can tell, Theo is very playful. Yes, my sweet boy. But this was very scary. So a few weeks ago, my husband and I were traveling, and it was the week before we were traveling, and Theo was feeling a little bit weird. We would wake up to just like a pile of like yellow bile on the ground, and normally they say that if the dog doesn't eat enough or if their stomach is empty, then that can happen. So over the course of the last few years that we've had Theo, it's happened maybe 2 or 3 times, so we were kind of familiar with it. We knew what it was, but we were worried because we personally fed Theo the night before. His stomach should not have been that empty. So the first time we kind of let it roll, hoping it wouldn't happen again. But the next morning when we woke up and the same thing happened, we come here baby, come to bed. Okay, so when the next thing happened and we called the vet and we were like, look, this is 2 days in a row. I'm not sure what's happening. I'm really worried. Can we just bring him in? So our vet, said that everything should be fine, but yes, of course, bring him in. We'll give him some kind of, we'll look at him. So when we get there, they give him an IV to add some fluids into his system, and then they give him a shot to make sure that the vomiting stops and that he's able to keep food down. She says to not feed him for a few hours and then go super bland on his food. I went to Kroger and I actually purchased some peas, carrots, white rice, and just made him like a very simple, sauteed an egg in there and made him like a very simple meal. He eventually did start eating, although not a lot, and he seemed seemingly okay. So my husband and I left for a trip, and when we travel, usually Theo stays with either his family or my family. And this time my mother-in-law was actually taking care of Theo, and Theo loves her. She's amazing with him, so we knew that things would be good. We get a picture while we're like literally on the beach in Miami, and I'm immediately terrified. She tells me that he's been eating, but he isn't, he's acting normal, he's following her around, everything looks okay, but she found this bruise on him. And immediately I'm terrified because I start Googling things and I see that it could be a sign of like internal bleeding. And she said that she saw a little bit of redness in his stool. So I am like on the phone calling a emergency vet, seeing if I can get an appointment. I'm trying to figure out what to do. I want to make sure that this isn't a sign that anything scary is happening, that he doesn't have any kind of bleeding inside, something that's like not normal is going on with my dog. So this bruise is massive. I'm going to put the picture here. And we end up getting in touch with the vet my vet that saw Theo a few days ago. And she's like, look, the bruise is fine, the stool is fine, as long as it doesn't happen again. Sometimes it can just be like the IV clearing out of his system. Everything should be okay. Call us again tomorrow if things don't get better. Here's a line for an emergency vet if something happens overnight. Okay. My mind is 5% more at ease, but I'm still super worried. I tell my mother-in-law, she's like, don't worry, I've canceled all my plans. I'm watching him like a hawk. Everything's gonna be okay. Enjoy your trip. Praise the Lord for amazing family and in-laws. So we, are checking in on Theo occasionally. She's like, everything is going fine. We get back and we actually see the bruise for the first time a few days later. And mind you guys, it's been 2 weeks since this happened and the bruise is still huge. What it looks like is this massive black and purple bruise with no hair growing. It looks as if he's been shaved. And so once we got our dog back, I started posting on a group that we have of all of the people who own dogs from the same breeder. There's over 100 people in this group. They're so communicative and very supportive. So I sent a message and I'm like, look, has this happened to anybody's dog? Should I be worried? The vet said it's fine, but I'm terrified. And the breeding company's owner, the woman is very involved in the group, and so she was like, this looks like it's a reaction from a shot, like has he had an injection lately? And then it clicked to me like, yes, he did have an injection. They gave him a shot when he was at the vet. So it turns out that all of this is just a reaction from the injection. It shouldn't have happened, but sometimes it can happen. I'm actually just took a video right now because Theo is still not letting me touch it. He's still very sensitive about it, but I managed to get just a couple of seconds of it so you guys can see what it looks like 2 weeks later. Okay, so this is what it looks like now. It has been a few weeks and the place still doesn't have hair growing on it, but the bruise does seem like it's getting lighter. I know, baby, I'm sorry. But if this happens to your dog, I hope that everything works out for you. When in doubt, always go to a vet. It's never worth it to see, come here, baby. It's never worth it if anything is going wrong. You want to make sure that everything's fine. I know vet visits can be expensive, but luckily our vet was able to kind of consult with us over the phone. Anyways, long story short, Theo's okay. We are so grateful that we have family and a vet that was so on top of it, and our breeder was actually so involved to help make us feel at ease. Theo's recovering just fine. He has been eating again. We've eased him back into fresh food and a little bit of kibble, which is his normal combination. And luckily our sweet boy is doing just fine. If you want to see more updates, please subscribe to our channel, and be sure to follow Theo on Instagram. That's at Theo my dude, TheoMyDood. I'll put that below. Last thing, I did put together a quick cheat sheet of questions that I get asked about Theo all the time. If you're thinking about getting a mini doodle, if you have a mini doodle, if you have a doodle, if you have a dog, hopefully this information will be helpful for you to make the right decision for your family. It's completely free. It's in the box below. Just enter in your email and my team will email it to you. Again, thank you so much for being a part of our YouTube family. We hope we see you on Instagram for daily Theo videos, and we'll see you in our next one. Sweet boy. Kiss.